Legal stuff, enjoy the video.
From when I was 10 to when I was 17, one show about two stepbrothers and their secret agent pet platypus meant a really big deal to me. I think just by saying that, the title of the video, wherever you're watching this on, and of course, this guy, is best describing what we're talking about today.
So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all.
Mom! Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence!
Well, what can I say about Phineas and Ferb that hasn't been said by literally everybody online? Yeah, despite me bagging on the formula in past episodes, even I gotta admit, I have a soft spot for Phineas and Ferb. Mainly because it's a big part of my childhood. Like I said, it started when I was 10 and ended when I was 17. And yeah, technically I would kind of consider teenage years as childhood for some weird reason. I'm not gonna lie, these two stepbrothers took over a huge chunk of my life, as well as their pet platypus. Right, Perry? Hey, where's Perry? But sometimes you really can't mess with the formula. I mean, Coca-Cola tried and, well, there's a reason why it became a joke in Stranger Things Season 3. But this show surpassed just basic cable cartoon status. It became a cultural phenomenon. The show spawned one movie, and another movie coming out later on Disney+, a meet and greet at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which, yes, I've been to, a touring live stage show, which I hope isn't incredibly creepy at all, and of course the Epcot attraction, Agent P's World Showcase Adventure, which I recommend watching Theme Park Backlot by Chandler Day right here. He does a much better in-depth look at Agent P's World Showcase Adventure than I ever could, since he got a chance to do all of them while I did the UK mission only. Well, I'm surprised you get a free sample of chai tea. Anyway, since it's technically summer, honestly I can't even tell anymore what these days are. I figured why not talk about my top 5 favorite Phineas and Ferb episodes since, you know, summer. After all, there's now more than 104 days of them. Basically, I'm going to be talking about all my favorite episodes. I'm not getting anything special, so I'm not really going to talk about Phineas and Ferb Star Wars or Mission Marvel. And I can't really talk about deep movies since there's only one right now and the new one's coming out later this summer. Anyway, on with the countdown. Roller coaster. Honestly, it makes sense for the first episode on this list to be literally the first episode. Or according to Disney Plus, the 8th episode. Disney, please fix Disney Plus. It's causing my OCD to go nuts. Basically, in this episode, Phineas and Ferb build a roller coaster. I mean, if you've ever seen the show, you already know what's about. But I'm saying for that 1% of people who haven't seen Phineas and Ferb. They basically build their own roller coaster because they went on a pretty crummy kiddie coaster. I've been on a pretty crummy kiddie coaster before. It literally lasted a second and there's already video footage of it on YouTube for some weird reason. And now it's time for the ever-important B-plot. See what I did there? Dr. Doofenshmirtz, as I like to call him, the name I can surprisingly spell out correctly and or spell out wrong. It's kind of so-so on some days. Basically, Dr. Doofenshmirtz in this episode covers the entire eastern seaboard with tinfoil and using a gigantic magnet to reverse Earth's rotation just so his building can become beachfront property. And knowing Doofenshmirtz, it all goes to crap. And also conveniently destroy his Phineas and Ferb's roller coaster for the day. And of course, as usual, Candace looks like the whack job. And by as usual, for the first time, she looks like the whack job. Yeah, this was the very first episode and kind of shows it. So it gives up an idea what the show's about. In a pretty good way, actually. In fact, the episode's so special to the Phineas and Ferb crew that they actually remade it into a musical. And for some reason, Doofenshmirtz literally did the same thing in the musical episode, but this time added a nader to the device he made. Because as we all know, y'all know I'm not wrong. tip of the day. Okay, be honest, guys. Who knew what a tip of a shoelace was called before this episode came out? This pretty much answers a question that, let's be honest, we all ask every now and then. What's the tip of a shoelace called? For those that don't know, it's called an aglet. And for some reason, Candace just straight up refuses not to know because, according to her,
I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't matter. You can live a long, happy life without knowing the tip of the shoelace is called the... Aglet. It doesn't matter.
And once again, it's time for the ever-important B-plot. On the Doofenshmirtz side of the plot, a video of Dr. D skating in his underwear, falling into a toilet. You know, this. Well, that video went viral. And he's incredibly embarrassed about it. So, Doofenshmirtz's invention of the week is basically a helmet that he puts on and thinks about something and then arraignments, making people forget about it. It's basically how he wanted to get rid of the video, people's memory of the video, but instead he accidentally get everybody forget about aglets, and then he has to suffer with the torment of being a part of a viral video that's kind of embarrassing. You know, if you want everybody to forget about it, you could just wait 15 minutes. I know, good one, right? Yeah, coming from somebody who's been watching YouTube videos since he was 9, I'm gonna tell you this. Viral videos, they don't stay popular for very, very long. Don't believe me? Believe me, a decade ago, people were talking about the David After the Dance kid, and now I'm pretty sure that kid's in college. Well, you know that video made serious banking and paid for his college tuition. I don't know. Dude, we're getting a band back together! Okay, kind of a bad fan confession here. This was actually the first episode of Phineas and Ferb I ever watched. Well, it was around the time the show premiered, so... that's gotta mean something, right? 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 But then again, I call myself a fan of The Simpsons, and the show premiered literally 8 years before I was born, so... me showing up late to some shows is kind of a tradition for me. This episode, Phineas, Ferb, and oddly enough, Candace is help reunite the band Love Handle for their parents' anniversary. I know, right? This is one of the few times Candace actually doesn't bust her brothers. Was she coming down with something? I know, mind blowing, right? And once again, say with me now, the ever-important B-plot. For this side of the story, Doofenshmirtz doesn't really build a detonator. I mean, he builds a giant rocket to tape Perry the Platypus to, which he gets caught on, and Perry escapes freely. But it's mostly just Doofenshmirtz trying to be a good dad and set up a sweet 16 for his teenage daughter, Vanessa, who literally shares a voice actress with Marceline, the Vampire Queen from Adventure Time.
I don't want them to see this. I'm a teenager. Oh, if it isn't my favorite little goody two-shoes, Finn.
Man, and he's trying his best, but it's all pinkish and girly, and Vanessa, she is a goth. Thankfully, later on, because of the fireworks, it becomes a goth party with, like, melted pink everything. And by melted pink everything, it turns everything black. Because, you know, ash. So, basically, at the end, with all the ashed up birthday decorations, Doof finally got a birthday party done right for Vanessa. Well, he always was a better dad than he was a villain, was he? Ferb Latin. And man, at one point in your life, you got really bored and just started making up your own language. In this episode, Phineas and Ferb made up their own language, which is basically like Pig Latin, but you know, Ferb Latin. And for those that don't know what Pig Latin is basically Ockingte, Ikele, his tay. So in other terms, this. I know I'm gonna say it, but honestly, Ockingte, Ikele, his tay, that describes what I'm talking about. But like Pig Latin, which you end off words with A, you end words off with herb. Everyone in the episode wind up talking Ferb Latin, and not gonna lie, if everybody started talking Ferb Latin, it would be, as they would say, et gerb, airy verb, annoying a herb. And in the ever-important B-plot, it's basically Norm spreading propaganda. Particularly written propaganda, because according to Doofenshmirtz, people will believe anything they read. So, Facebook! And yes, at the very end, the propaganda machine wound up just basically making Ferb Latin obsolete by everybody speaking normal. Yeah, I'm starting to question why I made this number 2, but you know what? Why the heck not? Who Werb airs Curb? Now for a quick honorable mention. Terrifying Tri-State Trilogy of Terror. I had to mention this because this feels a little bit more like Treehouse of Horror, you know, what the Simpsons do every Halloween. But this time, obviously starring Phineas and Ferb characters. And I gotta mention it all because I'm not making this up. At one point, they got a juice box voiced by Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls.
You've saved my factory! Well done, everyone. Let's dance!
Alex, I don't know if we're gonna agree to this or not, but we want you to play a talking juice box on Phineas and Ferb.
I'll do it!
Really? You didn't let me finish the
I don't care! Anyway, my number 1 favorite Phineas and Ferb episode is Act Your Age. Why not the finale, you may ask? Well, to me, this is more like an emotional finale for me. I'll talk about why in a second, but right now, instead of talking about the A plot, because I really have a lot to talk about, I want to get the ever-important B plot out of the way. Basically, the ever-important B plot in this episode is Doofenshmirtz finding a midlife crisis. And before I continue on, I just gotta say, look how they make Dr. Doofenshmirtz look in 10 years. Wow! Dude, you aged well. You aged like fine wine. Or better yet, like Steve Carell. Or better yet, like Keanu Reeves.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Yes, I really wanted to use another Keanu meme, okay? And now for this time, the very important A-plot. This episode involved Phineas and Ferb as college-bound teenagers. Basically, Phineas deciding between 2 universities. Danville U and Tri-State State. Well, that last one can be a little, wordy there and kind of a tongue twister. But then again, this is the same company that made High School, the musical, the blah 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 blah. You see what I mean? Although if he's choosing between those two, why not Harvard? Or Yale? Or literally any Ivy League school? I mean, the boy's got the brains for it. But like pretty much anybody playing a video game, more specifically people like me, he gets trapped in the middle of a side quest. Mainly because, well, it took him a decade, but he finally realized Isabella liked him this whole time. Yeah, kind of funny when you think about it. He went from Captain Oblivious to head over heels for Isabella, who, ironically at the time, stopped having a crush on him in high school when he started having a crush on her. Perfect timing! Yeah, part of me likes this episode because it made Finn and Bella canon, and they also made the ship name canon.
We might have been an item.
They would have called us Finn and Bella.
But here's the main reason why I like this episode. This came out at the right time for me because right at the time it came out, I was about to graduate from high school. Granted, now on the downside, I have not figured out what the hell I've been doing since I graduated. To any high school seniors watching this, or soon-to-be high school seniors, take my word, go to college. Yeah, making YouTube videos is fun, but you just get go to college so that way you get a real job. Because, trust me, there are way too many YouTubers out there now. Anyway, back to the point. This came out around the time when I was about to graduate from high school, and it was kind of surreal seeing the characters I grew up with grown up alongside me. I'm well aware that the next episode was when the show wrapped up, but to me, this would have been a perfect way to end the series itself. Oh, in fact, according to the Phineas and Ferb Wikia, which I don't know how accurate it's going to be, this show is more served as the emotional finale. As in, it's basically showing the characters all grown up. Alongside half the people who actually grew up with Phineas and Ferb. Basically, myself included. Like I said, the show premiered when I was 10 years old. I was 17. I was about to entered the next phase of my life. And it was honestly surreal to see these guys grow up alongside me like that. I mean, that's not to say the finale wasn't the perfect send-off. I mean, for crying out loud, I remember shedding a tear after seeing this. And now it's happening again! Don't look at me! But this awesome, but seeing Phineas Ferb as teenagers like I was, that was pretty much insane. Yes, I know I pretty much reiterated basically the last 5 sentences, but you get to my drift. In fact, speaking of teenage Phineas and Ferb, these were actually from fan art. And they actually got the fan artists to actually work on the episode. No joke, Phineas and Ferb's team designs in this episode were made by Ashley Kickster Ash Simpson. I had their username in the middle to prevent confusion with the other Ashley Simpson. It also kind of kickstarted her career in the animation business. I mean, she got work later on for Star vs. Evil, Mile Murphy's Law, and the Canadian cartoon Super Noobs. In fact, there's one more thing I forgot to mention about the episode.
Hey Ferbs, you ready?
The British boy was smart enough to wait a decade for his God love, huh? Also kind of crazy that my favorite episode happens to be the one that you don't even hear. Hey, where's Perry? Or, oh, there you are, Perry. Oh no, that's me being serious. I actually found him. See? So Perry, what did you think about my list? Could have said it better myself. I can go on all day talking about my love and respect for the show, but I don't have time to make a trillion-hour video. In fact, the momentum for Phineas and Ferb never really died off. I bet that the reruns on Disney XD and Disney Channel, the fact people are watching it right now on Disney Plus, and the fact that the Epcot attraction lasted until last year, kind of help with the fact that this train of Phineas and Ferb fandom is not ending anytime soon. Even with the Milo Murphy crossover last year and the upcoming Chaos Against the Universe movie, I think it's best to say we aren't saying goodbye again to Phineas Ferb or the Pet Secret Agent Platypus anytime soon. But tell me what you guys think. What's your favorite Phineas and Ferb episode? Tell me in the comments below, or on Twitter and Instagram at Xander the Boss. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And before we go into the credits, I'd like to say I'm sorry for this episode coming out way later than I wanted to. I was gonna film it earlier in June, but a bunch of stuff kept on getting in the way. And the week I was planning on filming it, well, I'm gonna have to show you the evidence. Yeah, my glasses are being held by duct tape right now. I'm in no rush to get a new pair. I don't mind this. But you know what? At least I finally got something out by not making an empty promise. This isn't my Kim Possible review or my Star vs. the Force Evil 4th season review. And until next time, guys, gonna say better myself.
Hey guys, so yeah, this is the little cold tag for the credits. Sorry, this episode took a lot longer to come out. I meant to get it out in June, but by the time I was supposed to start filming, a lot of crazy stuff happened. My glasses broke. We actually lost power on the day I was originally going to film. We got back, obviously. This was filmed like 10 days after that fact. And also, so crazy news, like freaking Splash Mountain's getting rethemed. I wanted to make a video about that, but I decided against it because I was just rambling on about it. I'm actually excited for the change, by the way. Wait, it's about time we get Princess and the Frog Ride. Anyway, one more thing, yes, as you can see by the credits, or it's going to show up, that this episode is dedicated in memory of Regis Philbin. And before you ask, why am I dedicating the Phineas and Ferb episode to Regis Philbin? Well, I think we should have the man himself explain why.
Now somebody, anybody, everybody scream, scream, scream. Now that girl's got some serious squirrels in her pants.
Squirrels? Squirrels?
Tell me what's making you jump like that. S to the I to the M to the P, squirrels in my pants. And they hurt.
Wow, you really are a TV legend.